Okay. People can see us. People can hear us. Whether they want to or not.
The proper apps, you can smell us now.
Ooh,
I
there
would
you
not
go.
recommend it.
Absolutely
Would not.
not. No.
Where are these
Welcome to
apps that you guys are getting?
1979.
The Apple Store. That's where.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, that's all it is.
Thought it was a Chrome extension.
It can be, but those are knockoff. And sometimes you get like weird mixing of smells. Like I don't.
Makes you smell color sometimes.
A little bit,
good.
yeah.
Never good.
Nothing wrong with little
Ooh, I can tell that Christopher's wearing blue today.
Look at that.
Smell it? Can you smell it?
There you go.
Well, hey, gang, we are.
Probably smells like Crown Cud.
Oh, there! Look at that! Look at that!
There you
Gen
go.
Con representing right there. We are taking a little diversion tonight. One of our Shadowrun regulars was not able to make it, so we're going to do a little pickup game that I hope to hit now and then when circumstances come up. We're doing a little first edition Dungeons and Dragons, circa late 70s, early 80s or so. Yeah.
Something like
This
that.
is bringing back a lot of memories for me. We're going to try and play it just raw, rules as written, with all the funky little things that come about from that. And well, let's just get some things out of the way. I'm Bert. I'm the primary host and GM for Of Steam, Steel, and Murder at bluemagic.com, BLUMAGIK. Yes, I haven't posted anything in 4 months, but we have a lot of backlog there, 10 years worth and more in the can, which I'll put up soon. Chuck,
Oh my gosh.
tell us all about yourself and who are you playing tonight?
I'm Chuck, Defenders of Cobalt. You can find me twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. We do all sorts of live play stuff. You can also find me over on twitch.tv/SwyhanderRPG, as well as Goodman Games Official and Free League Publishing. So yeah, find us everywhere. Buy our zine, Dan Dies at the End, still on sale, 50 cents on drive-thru. But tonight I'm playing Viet, the Dwarven Cleric. I'm still working through my equipment, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm going to bash some things in the head and hopefully not die too quickly.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you two questions, and the other two of you get to think about it now.
All right.
Chuck does not.
okay.
So, Chuck, what did he do before he chose to leave the safe dwarven home?
Oh,
And whatever trade he picked up? And why the hell did you leave?
wait, this is, I think, easy for me. He was, going cleric of Mirrodin, the standard dwarven deity. He was a smith before. So, he apprenticed for a long while, and he wasn't terrible at it. But then he got the calling. The holy dwarven ghost bit him in the ass, so he dedicated himself to the dwarven god and set out into the world to bring the good word and smite non-believers.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so what did you do before you picked up the holy cause of your dwarven god? How
that
did
was
you make a living?
Blacksmith.
Myth.
Yep.
Pretty typical.
Yeah.
All right. Second question. What is the one cherished item that you kept with you from your
Oh my
homeland?
gosh. The one cherished item. Man, I'm gonna go with a horseshoe, right? I think.
Horseshoe. Yeah, special horseshoe. Maybe the first one you made?
Yeah, the first one I ever smithed. I tried to stick it on the mule or the riding pony, but it kicked me square on my ass, so it didn't get done that day. I just pocketed it, and it's my little keepsake.
Nice. All right, Jeff, tell us a little bit about anything you want to have plugged, and what's your character tonight?
Yeah, I got all the answers from those questions. Okay. So yeah, I'm Jeff from Adventures in Lollygagging. Just like Chuck, I play games on the internet. Twitch.tv/Lollygaggers. You can find me there. A lot of content. Also on Free League Publishing. So Twitch.tv/Free League Publishing. You can catch us tomorrow night, actually, as we premiere a vesting game over there. And also Thursdays, Twitch.tv/ZwyhanderRPG. You can find me playing Zweihander over there. I am playing Sully, the Gnomish Thief. Yeah, that's all I got. I am playing Sully the Gnomish Thief. And so what were the questions again?
So why did you leave your homeland?
Okay, so I think I left because, and I know this is going to be a surprise, I was accused of stealing stuff. Yeah, I was
Imagine that.
yeah, I know. It's shocking that someone would think that of me.
Okay.
Um,
And so, were you always a thief, or what did you do before?
So I put down that I decided I wanted to be a jeweler, like a gem crafter, jewel crafter, jewelry maker, that type of thing. And so my cherished item is this rough little tiny piddly gem that I have like in a ring or something. That is like the first gem I found, first thing I made, and I left because there's been accusations that perhaps I am stealing stuff from other competing jewel crafters and perhaps not giving stuff to the clients that were giving me money to make them jewelry. So stuff
Steal
like
a gem here, refacet it so it doesn't look the same,
exactly.
resell it
It's
off.
a whole racket. Yeah, it's
I
great.
see. Shame they caught on.
Such a shame. I mean, honestly, it's not really even true. It's all allegedly anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, Chris, you do the same. Tell us a little bit about what you've got going on online, anything you want to plug, and what's your character tonight?
I am Christopher from Two Old Guys Games. We've got 3 products up on Drive-Thru RPG right now. Rules of Engagement, which is quick naval combat for DCC and other OSR games. Ziggurat of the Mega Maiden, which is a DCC level 2, we're calling quick crawls, made to be played in 2 to 3 hours. That one's inspired by some 80s metal because I'm an old metalhead. And Sinking the Stercorarius, Devil Horns, Sinking the Stercorarius, which was our Kickstarted adventure for a funnel for DCC earlier this year. I am playing a character that I have used since the late 80s every once in a while, and he has often died, and he's like a cat and keeps coming back. Quarion Greyleaf, who is an elven ranger. That is more of an outlander and prefers the less civilized areas of the world to the places that are tightly packed humanoid cities and things like that. Right. Before wandering off on his own, he was always sort of an odd child, and he was often found sitting in trees at the edge of the elven commune that he lived in, reading pages or trying to read pages of some lost manuscripts. Where he got the pages, nobody knows but him. He stole them. And he keeps them folded up very neatly and orderly in a waterproof pouch that is then always on his person.
Nice. And so what did you do before?
In the 500 years prior to going walkabout,
Elves, slow starters, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what did he do? I will say he was he was a butcher's apprentice, but now he's vegan.
Nice.
So,
all right.
So he has he carries with him a sign of his guilt, which is part of an old cleaver, to remind him of the work he must do to atone.
Or how bad of a butcher he was. And no.
It's like totally the opposite of Techno G.
Nice. All right. Well, we are going to be basing our game in the world of Greyhawk. We are going to try and run through a lot of the classic modules. And tonight we're going to get off a good, hearty start in the village of Hamlet. Northeastern part of Greyhawk, next to just south and east of the very large city of Verbabonk. No, I don't know if that's actually how it's pronounced, but that's what I always called it. So you guys have actually, how much money do you have between you guys? Does anybody still have several gold, or did you spend it all equipping yourselves?
I'm still spending it. Right now I got like 90 or 23 left, but I don't think I'm going to have any done.
I've got 20 gold kicking around, some silver in a pouch.
Same.
Good enough. Yeah, so you've got a little bit of funding left, but there hasn't been a lot of prospects. You find yourself in this little village called Hamlet. It is right along several confluences of roadways, and there's a nice river that runs through it that sees a lot of traffic. And it is, well, some of you are laying low from large cities currently. It's just large enough to be interesting, but small enough to keep you out of the way. Unfortunately, the opportunity to put more gold in your pouches have been lean lately. You've been in Hamlet now for, we'll see, a few days, enough to have gotten the lay of the land here. You're staying at a place called the Inn of the Welcome Wench. The question is, while they do rent rooms here, they have various scales. For a couple of gold a night, you can have a very nice, lavish room, private room. For a couple of silvers, well, you can have a room that you're sharing with a bunch of other people, hammocks hammered to the walls, or you can sleep in the common room. So how have you been spending your money in the last few days? Wisely or not so much?
I would probably go for the hammocks, I think.
Same.
Okay.
Generally, I would sleep out in the woods nearby. But if I'm going to stay in the inn, it would be the common room near the main hearth. I'd probably just crash out in a chair or something there.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to stay in the common room, silver a night, keep a roof over your head. If you're staying in the room that they've got the various cots and slings put up, a couple of silver. Either way, it's clean. The establishment's nice. They've got good food, good beer on tap. If you guys are in Roll20, we have a little map of the village here. So number 7 is the inn. Let me see if I can ping it for you guys here. Where's the little inn?
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Biggest building in the
Not
village.
so little, yeah.
Yeah. Well, other than the keep that stands above the ridge here.
Sure.
Some other things in the area, of course, through the north and east there, building number 20, as you're seeing it on the map, there's a church to St. Cuthbert here.
Mm-hmm.
Cuthbert and the dwarven god that your character worships, Chuck, do get along. They have similar outlooks, so it's not not a blight on this village to you anyway.
Okay.
And let's see here. I want to get your names down just so we... Jeff, what's the name of your character again?
Sully, Sully.
That on there. And Chris, what was your character's name again?
Quarion.
Right.
Quarion.
And Chuck, what was yours?
Viet. Viet.
Oh.
There we go. So, for those listening or out there on the streams, first edition Dungeons and Dragons has some fairly complicated rules in it, and I'm juggling several rule sets in my head right now, so we're going to kind of go slow. We're going to take this slow, and we'll build up over time. We'll add in things like the Unearthed Arcana and some things from Oriental Adventures as we go. But we have your base of operations. We're going to run this game like a hex crawl, just a sandbox game where you decide what interests you and what you want to do. The town is got not many problems, but there are a few. This area in times past was, the host of a very large battle between the hosts of the evil elemental might and the people of the surrounding area, trying to keep them from just rolling over the region like a swarm of cockroaches, and they were able to seal off that evil. There's a ruined moat house in the surrounding hills that still shows the scars from that war many, many years ago. We've got an elf in the party, so many years ago is still recent past for you. As you are a very long-lived race. Other than that, there have been some bandits raiding along the roads, although since this is a major crossroads, both by river and land, and it's kept to a minimum, but there's still some issues with that going on. So, still having gold in your pockets, you've had a bit of time to check the lay of the land and get to know some of the populace here. You'll see on the map that's keyed there. You've got some of the names of the proprietors and people that you've met. Again, you've been here for a few days. It's not a very big village, so you have met these people. What interests you? What is a money-making scheme that you want to involve yourself in? There's not really any jobs posted here at the inn. I mean, occasionally you'll get a merchant caravan going out looking for extra guards, but in the last few days, no one's really asking.
Let's see. To make some cash, I would be interested in going to visit Fratello Smythe, the blacksmith, and I can go and swing a hammer for him. I got some skill in it still. I got my own hammer.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, he isn't really looking for an apprentice, but you are skilled enough that you can provide a good, strong arm for him. So he has work. If you want to spend a couple of days, I mean, it's not exciting work, but you get to swing a hammer.
Oh, at least until we find something to drive us back out to the road. Yeah, I can work on that.
All right, Corian. You're smack dab in a very idyllic area that's good farmland. There's forests just to the east of you. This is good land. It really is. The village is actually very mindful of not taking too much in the way of wood, and you don't have to go very far to commune with your nature. What have you been looking into? What have you been interested in?
I've been talking with Aaron Olward in the woodwork shop, where I would just see what projects they've got going on and go do the legwork of finding unique pieces of wood, usually deadfall out in the forest, that I think would be sturdy and interesting to add a little flavor to their woodworking and such. And then while I'm out there, every once in a while, if I see an animal of the predatory nature coming towards perhaps the herds or something, I would offer a helping hand to shoo it off on its way. Keep it away from the local livestock.
Okay, you guys are interesting folks in this area. There are not much in the way of demi-humans living in the village. As a matter of fact, there are only two that you know of, and they are games hunters. And they'll go out, kill boar, etc., come in, sell it, that sort of thing. But they don't live in town proper. So you guys have been creating something of a stir. So Arwen, as you're bringing back some wood that he does need for his carpentry, it saves him a trip. He's more than willing to compensate you for the time, but he asks, you look like the sort that can handle yourself. Are you? There's some special woods that I need that really, you can't get them from the trees in this area, but they can be taken from some structures in the hills. They were made of it, you wouldn't be harming anything out there. You wouldn't be killing a live tree. You'd be, let's call it reclaiming it.
Upcycling. Sure.
Upcycling. Yeah, that's a good word. I like that. I like it. But there's certainly more money in it if you're interested. He sketches out.
Empty buildings?
Gets a piece of coal, and he basically just grabs a skin and just sketches out a countryside for you. And he shows you a couple of locations that they used to be. There's a moat house. There's just like an old abandoned castle. These are places that are just run down. And it does tell you, though, that they're still they're kind of out of the way. I'm sure that some things live in there that are probably not too interested in you sticking your nose in there. These are the woods that I'm looking for. He writes down a couple of different types of wood. I'll also be interested in any kind of hinges, iron hinges, brass hinges that you might be able to find. We used to send some of the local kids out that way, and well, after some of them just didn't come back, the moms just asked us to stop doing that.
Well,
you lose a few kids and everybody loses their minds. It's just I mean, how are you supposed to learn, right? Right.
Humans reproduce so fast, it's hard for me to understand how you grow attached to them when they die so young.
Yeah, I know. Like the good ones, make it back, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, he's willing to buy anything off you. In particular, if you can find these woods that he's written down, and again some hinges and some metalwork, he'd pay a good premium amount for that. Jeff, what's Sully been up to?
Okay, so I'm really curious about this Home of the Elderly, number 27.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly would we say that is? Is that like a like a nursing home?
Yeah, it's kind of like an old folks home. Yeah.
Old folks have lots of like heirlooms and things, so I'm sure going to have been visiting.
Oh, well,
them,
they always need volunteers to come in and help in the kitchen and clean up, and
I'd be glad to.
The folks living there, and they just love tales. You're pretty an exotic looking guy. You probably know a lot of good tales.
Tell them plenty of tales, and I listen to theirs too. Sometimes you just they don't want to tell you things. So.
Well, now, Sully, we're really grateful that you're interested in entertaining our graybeards this way. I'm afraid this is a charitable institution, though. We really can't pay anything. We'd be glad to give you a meal or two. You're welcome.
A meal would be fine. Very fine. It's just this is also the kindness of my own heart is what this is. It's just I think of me old mum alone, and I want to make sure that all these other old mums have somebody there looking out for them. It's all this is.
What's your charisma score, or do you have a bonus?
My charisma score is 13.
It's not bad. Yeah. I mean, they need help. You seem interesting enough. It's, you're so short and diminutive. It's like you're a child. I mean, how bad can a child be? I mean, really?
Of course, yes. No, it's
like those dirty dwarves that got those.
Uh-oh.
Big beards. It's just.
Oh, there. Yeah. He's coming back.
Yeah, he got back up. Yeah.
All right.
We heard dirty doors, and all of a sudden you got smited by.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, there's some love dwarves out there.
Yeah. Apparently.
All right. So they'll let you in if you want to try and ply your trade while you're there. Pick a few pockets, and
of course I do. Just I want to weasel my way with my smile and my kindness, and. Just look for what might be interesting. Yeah,
sure. I'll tell you what, go ahead and why don't you roll me a pickpocket attempt there? It's not great at first level, but I'm not even saying that you have to pass it. And we'll just see what the opportunity looks like.
Fair enough. That's not good. It's not good at all.
Yep. Well, which probably shouldn't come as a surprise to you. One of the reasons why they're kind of kept here in this home is because they're not doing well. No real funds. They had to sell their homes and what belongings they had just to be able to be put up in this fine institution. Most of the children are dead long since, or they've left and have long since forgotten grandpa and grandma. So it's not that you failed, Sully. It's that really, unless you're taking the silverware, there's just not a lot to be had here. And after talking to a few, some of them are old enough to remember when they were very young kids, the tales of the war that went on between the might of the elemental armies and the merging of the peoples in the area to fend it off. And so they're very interested to tell you what little they remember. And if you make any questions concerning, like how they're doing, all the wealth is gone, but so many tales of how much gold and valuables and gemstones enough to fill your pockets and line your shoes. Why would I want to wear shoes with lots of stuff out there just waiting to be had? Brave youngsters used to go out and bring shiny things back, and be able to trade with merchants and get all kinds of finery, but those days are gone. children are not adventurous anymore. No spirit amongst them. You lose a few, and the moms get so mad.
Right. Where are these gemstones that you're referring to? I am quite the adventurous sort, and more than happy to go frolicking about finding them.
We'll say you're talking to Alvin. He's a particularly talkative sort, and you wanted to spend more time with him because you notice he's got a little cap of gold in one of his teeth. It's the only bit of real wealth you've seen around. He's like, oh, my memory's not the best, but there's several people around town you can ask about directions. It's my Junior brought back a small cup of beautiful gems, and he bought me this tooth. He's very proud of it as he shows off this gleaming gold tooth in his otherwise blackened mouth.
So Junior, meaning like his son, brought back a bunch of gems.
Yeah,
gold tooth. And I could ask. There's other people who would know about this.
Yeah, well, my son used to be welcomed over at Mitch's place. He's the mill owner.
Okay.
Mitch probably. I don't remember if Mitch was with him that day or not, but I'm sure he talked to Mitch about it. Why don't you ask Mitch? I just know it's off to the north somewhere.
Okay. I have a lead. Sounds good. I'll wait till he sleeps and I'll snatch his tooth. No, I won't. Nah.
So Sully, you're coming up. Unfortunately, not so well. There's nothing really worth stealing, but you made some friends and got some information. The rest of you guys, why don't you roll a D4? This is just what you managed to collect in coin for the last few days, doing a few odd jobs here and there.
I got one.
1 gold. Yeah.
3 gold.
Yeah, you know the best woods to harvest, so you did a little bit better there. Yet it's mostly it's not like he's making swords and armor, right? Like you're pounding out horseshoes, you're sharpening knives, you're occasionally making some patches to ironware, some skillets here and there. So there's not a lot of money in this. If you ask, he does say that it's a little slow now. This is coming upon our slower season, but a lot of times we'll get merchant caravans come through, and the money's good then. We got to fix wagon wheels. We got armor that needs to be hammered out, holes to be patched. Good money to be had then, but this is not the season for it. The passes are starting to slow down for the impending winter. Things are going into our quiet period. You'll make enough to stay at that end of yours and keep your belly fed, though, if you keep up with it.
I can handle that. I appreciate the toil. I don't know. I'll be off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go make sure my companions haven't caused too much trouble.
So Gundagoot at the end of the evening has got your meals down. At this point, he has knows what you like to eat and what's within your price range. So as you all walk in, he already has a hot meal down and a couple of tankards of ale out for you. Yeah. He's happy to have his places rented. Again, he's also talking about how we're coming to the end of a season. Business is going to be lighter, so any paying guests that are going to be here for a while, he's definitely on the lookout to keep happy.
Good.
Does he need anything done?
Well, sometimes the crowds get rowdy at night, and he doesn't really have a bouncer on duty or on call. So occasionally he might call, ask if you guys want to do a little work like that. But again, going into the slow season, it's not a lot here. You're not the only ones in the inn. There are 4 other guests that are renting rooms here. One of them is a wealthy merchant who has decided he is not wanting to make the long trip and is deciding he's going to wait out through the season here. You haven't met him. personally, shaking his hand, got his name. You just seen him passing. He kind of stays to himself. There's kind of a weaselly looking gentleman on the second floor renting out one of the, not the nicest of rooms, but a little bit more than what you guys are paying for. Private room. Okay. Goes out a lot at night. You've seen him in passing. He's affable enough. When you see him in the halls, he'll nod and he'll wave, but he doesn't really talk much. Now, sir, you got a couple staying in like the grand room. Several gold a night. They've got 2 kids. You're not really sure what their story is either. They take their meals in their rooms. They don't really come down and talk to anybody.
Just probably rifled. Sully's probably rifled through all their stuff already, so we know they're taking it.
I've been talking to the children. Tell me about your parents.
My gosh.
Do they sleep early or late?
Oh, what fancy things did you all bring and have up in that wonderful room of yours?
We're going to have to find a real job to keep you 2 from getting into actual trouble.
Me? I'm just an entrepreneur.
The children are actually really, how to put it? They mind their parents. Like they're not. They don't brush you off, but they just yes sir, no sir. They don't say a lot. It's like, I'm sorry, mom doesn't allow us to talk to strangers. I'm sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
And I'm not a stranger. My name is Viet. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hey, don't be lying.
Shh, stop it.
Tripping my style here.
You don't understand how this works.
Yeah, if they're humans from the 1970s, they can't tell the difference between a gnome and a dwarf anyway.
Probably.
Fair enough.
Less here.
With my companions getting squirrelier, and I'm worried that they're going to get in actual trouble. If all else fails, I can, do good in this world by keeping them from doing bad to those that don't deserve it. I'll start
a line on a job yet. You're gonna love it. It's not stealing or anything.
I like not stealing. That's good.
I mean, I don't think anyone. It might be stealing from undead, but that's that's right up your alley.
Defiling the dead is not.
No. Undead.
Oh, if they're undead, then they need to be smote and returned back to the ground. I would also.
That sounds quite difficult and dangerous. I think I've got a line on some gems. There's this lovely old man with a gold tooth, and his young son apparently brought gems back at some point and has a line on, treasures and such. I've got to go talk to this Mitch fella, but sounds way better than risking our lives against some undead.
How are these old people taken care of?
Oh, terribly, if you ask me.
If we go recover those riches, we could donate it to the elderly and help them out.
That's definitely what I was thinking. We're like on the same wavelength.
Good. I'm so glad that we've come to terms on this so quickly.
Now I'm going to exchange a look with Karen and like... Just please, someone like.
So the job I've got a line on. Try not to get involved. Like I'm not going to get involved in this. Is helping nature reclaim what is its. By taking valuable woods out of old abandoned buildings and anything interesting metalwork. Now, old abandoned buildings generally mean undead, so you can smite them with your mighty hammer.
So it's not a hard there's undead there here. You just want help claiming all this wood.
Specifically carrying it back because this shoulder's been acting up a little.
If we're not doing crime, I'll take that as a step in the right direction. I would be okay with this as well.
We do have a slightly contentious relationship, dwarf.
Yeah. I'll take what I can get.
Now, Sully, your line, you don't know yet if it is the same area or not. You were supposed to talk to Mitch about that.
Right.
Find out what Mitch happened to know. Did you want to do that before you actually went and talked to these guys? You're welcome to have done that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's
All
say
right.
that. I would probably follow it up.
Well, Mitch is a strong, young, strapping man. He's not quite yet into his late 20s. He's actually a friend of the Greybeard's son you were told about. And he was there that day. I remember it. Remember it fondly. He kind of rubs his left hand, which you notice are missing 2 fingers. His pinky finger and his index finger are missing on that hand. He's like, I remember that day. Yeah, blessing and a boon both. We made off with enough valuables for me to build this mill here and establish my family. My friend, he got a taste for it, and he went off adventuring like that's any kind of real man's job.
Nah, not at all. Terrible.
How are you supposed to get your wife and passel of kids without venturing? I mean, he's rubbing his hand. It's like, yeah, I remember it. Well, he asked. That was some time ago.
Well, just curious. You've got. I'm sorry to be so, forward, but you keep rubbing your fingers there. Did something happen?
Oh, yeah. There's let's say the environment was inhospitable. I mean, the place itself was fine. You got to watch out for rotten timber and some stone falling out beneath your feet. But there's horrors in those woods. Big, giant frogs, nasty insects the size of your arm. One of those damn frogs took my fingers off this hand. If my friend didn't rescue me, he would have swallowed me whole.
Wow. And they're still there, all them frogs. And
I have no idea. This is 5-6 years ago. Who knows?
Did your friends say if did they clean the whole place out? And
oh, no, we barely went in. It wasn't an hour that we were exploring. We found a busted up old chest in the ground just full of gems, full of them.
How fortuitous. Well, whereabouts is this, did you say again? Oh, I figure me and me friends could perhaps, lend some aid, clear it up so no one else loses their fingers to frogs.
Seems like this is a money-making opportunity here. I know exactly where it is, and I can give you best directions anyone left in this town, as I think my friend and I were the last persons that saw the place, but mayor here's got a edict out. None of the villagers are supposed to go out there, and it's really frowned upon. But now you ain't properly a villager, now are you?
No, not at all. No, not even a bit.
Well, and he goes into his pocket. He pulls out this piece of old leather, which he unravels, and he pulls out like a sapphire. It's like size of his palm. It's like, well, this is the last beauty that I've got left from that haul. Figured this right here will go to my kids one day. It'll get them started in whatever they want to do. Maybe get them a home. Maybe get them wives and husbands. But, it doesn't leave anything for me and the missus in our old age. He kind of looks at you and he's like, how about a deal? I can tell you exactly where that location is. And it's not easy to find.
I am just following all the movements of the sapphire. Right. Yes.
Yeah, he notices, and he makes sure that
I've got it. Check. Gotcha. What do you want? You want some sort of finder's fee? I think.
Yeah. Let's say. Now, of course, there's going to be things you're gonna keep for yourself, of course. But let's say anything you decide to offload onto the village here, to the smithies, to the merchants that come through. I think 10% is fair. Now, just to the stuff that you offload, that you sell, mind you, I don't want to deal any more of these gems. I just want the hard coin.
Right. Okay, 10%. I'll see. I mean, industry standard for finder's fee, as far as I understand it, is 7%. But you're looking for 10. I'll be willing to say let's settle on 8%.
You want to haggle with them? What's your intelligence?
Oh, that's not a very nice question. 10.
Well, you're better than average. Well, you're around average. It's like, Well, I mean, I suppose if you don't go, I get nothing. And if you do go, I mean, you may not come back alive, and that's going to weigh heavy on my conscience. heavy. I mean, I don't know if the pastor's going to like it if he finds out. So I tell you what, I'll take 8% and the pick of something nice for the wife. If you find any nice baubles there other than the gemstones, right? Because I know that there's all kinds of interesting things there. I mean, I saw a beautiful set of armor out there. I couldn't get to it. Rocks were on top of it, but probably could have been beaten out by the blacksmith. Probably make up something nice. You give me the pick of something. And I'm not saying
your
first
wife
pick.
Doesn't want the armor, right? I didn't.
No. Just as an example of something you might find nice there. Let me have a pick of a few things that you don't necessarily want to keep, but don't necessarily want to sell. You know, you can keep the best for yourself, but let me pick one thing. One thing.
Of course. It sounds perfectly reasonable. Perfectly.
You know, something to put over the fireplace. Talking piece. You know.
Sure.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let me close down for the night here. Why don't you come back in nightfall?
Okay.
And I'll rustle through my equipment. I gotta look through my journals, make sure I wrote down. You see, I wrote down exactly the path we traveled. And I can get you there, probably no more than a day and a half at the worst. If you're bad with directions, you'll get there.
Right, I've got one of them outdoorsy elvish tops. They, you know.
Probably not even a day then. Probably not even a day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You are a gentleman and a scholar, sir, and you go ahead, close down. I'm gonna go get a bite and get me friends, and we'll return and settle our business.
Yeah, you do that. We'll see you tonight.
Okay. So I waddle off. I'll look over my shoulder one last time at that sapphire, make a mental note of where he puts it, and then back to the inn.
All right. There you go. That happened before you guys all met up.
So I'll fill them in on that.
You said I'm a what?
I said you were exquisite and intelligent elvish ranger. Was that incorrect?
I feel like you're leaving something out there.
Mm-hmm. Small story. I'll tell it that way. So yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly where it's at yet, whether it's the same place, but like, it's, I mean, fancy armor.
Well, he did say that you wouldn't find it unless you were given instructions, and something like a big castle or a moat house is going to be really obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just given names of places I'd have to ask around about, right?
No, you were given. He got a piece of charcoal and drew out kind of a rough map of different locations you can look at.
Okay.
He marked the larger ones, the ones that'll probably be more profitable.
It's a smart man to work with there.
I gotta tell you guys, going out and clearing out foul beasts from a portion of this land doesn't sound too bad. And we can help this man get a little bit of money for his retirement, maybe get some money to donate to the elderly here, and have enough coin in our pockets to maintain our gear and make sure we can continue spreading the good word.
Right. That's it. That's right. You're very sweet.
I appreciate the attention that he pays to his lord in keeping with the ways, because I feel like some groups have lost their way, have departed from the old ways. Being 547 years old, I've seen a great deal of change in these shorter races, and I believe that Viet is on the right path.
That's right. And those younger races, if they can't be made to see the proper way and how to live a holy life, but still a fruitful life, then we'll cave their skulls in and make way for those who will.
Right. You're very open-minded. It's just wonderful to see.
Yeah.
So are we going to go get those directions from Mitch, or
I think
do you want to talk about the people that you're going to save by smashing in their heads?
No, let's go get the directions. We'll smash heads later.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, you go visit Mitch again after nightfall, and sure enough, the mill is closed up. It looks like he's waiting for you. He's on his He's out on his porch, smoking a pipe. And as you're coming up the road, he closes the door to his house. He looks in, and he comes out. So he walks away from his house so that you're not doing this right out in front of your house. It's like, oh, I see you brought some friends. Always good. It means you can bring back more.
Sorry, for a second there, I thought we were playing Shadowrun.
Never assume you're not.
It's a dragon.
He's got a parcel with him, and he hands it over to you. It's just some old cloth draped across a bunch of scrolls. He's like, I was a little bit of an artist before a frog got my hand, and I drew out our path, some notable locations. Your knife-eared forest man here, I'm sure he can pick out these details. He wasn't a bad artist. Corey, and as you're looking at the places, I mean, you can definitely see that rock there he's got is very notable. It's probably going to have been around in the last 10 years easy. It's still going to be there. He's got some game trails marked out. Again, most of them are drawings that he's done, but he's made painstaking efforts to pick things in the terrain that would stand out. So here you go. And you remember our deal, right? And if you would, he looks back at the house. Do come back with something. Come back at night. The wife doesn't much like me getting ideas into folk. I mean, you all are, you're not villagers, so you can do whatever you want to. But let's just not, cause any friction between me and the missus.
Of course,
one would not want that. That would be quite unfortunate.
Right. And he unwraps a stone again. It's like, just to whet your appetite of what you can find out there. He moves it back and forth across in front of Sully.
Drool comes down. That's quite a pretty stone.
Why is he waving a piece of blue glass in your face?
Ooh, Chuck, what is Viet's intelligence? You got a bonus, or you or at least not have a negative?
I do not have a negative. It's 10, so.
Okay. Yeah, that is a huge chunk of sapphire, raw, uncut.
This could,
yeah.
A gem that size could feed many mouths. My friend told you plan to leave it for your children to make sure they're well off. That is a noble deed.
Yeah, little nest egg if they want to get into the business. My son wants to make a lumber yard, use the whole mill here to put in some of those newfangled saws and float logs down the river. I guess there's money in it, but I don't know. I mean, grinding flour has been good enough for me.
Both are worthwhile professions.
Well, I wish you luck. Give me and the missus a little something to retire on. Then I could safely leave this mill behind.
We will absolutely return, and you will retire forthwith, etc., etc. Thank you.
All right, so Corian, looking at the drawings he has very purposefully drawn the sun in various locations on the picture, so you got an idea of what direction you're going to be heading. It looks like this is going to be a little north and east into the foothills from what he's got drawing here. And until you hit the trail and find some of these locations, you don't have a good idea how long it's going to take. But Sully was told that with your skills, probably not even a day. So going to the map. Go ahead.
Can I match some of that up with what I got and be like, yeah, it's in the same area, same direction?
Well, it's not actually. So looking at some of the drawings again, his can you guys see the Greyhawk map?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. His directions are off more into the wood line, whereas most of the structures you were told about are to the south and in the hills.
Okay. All right. Well, Sully seems super hyped on this job, and we all saw that big chunk of solidified minerals that were once in water with a blue tint, and so I feel like, sure, we can head for the gnarly forest.
All right. So it is nighttime. You want to wait till the day, or do you actually want to leave into the untamed wilderness at night?
It's all the same to me as a ranger who generally lives outside.
I would vote for let's get a good night's rest and set out first thing in the morning.
Well, I actually agree with this one, finally. We see eye to eye on that.
With him?
Or I don't know which way you're on.
You
the
agree
thing.
with the dwarf and not the elf.
Yes.
You're above
that's what
me,
I
and
Yet.
he's below me.
Right. Let's just go in the morning. Just get up before dawn, know, see if we can steal such from themselves, those kids, get some bacon, and then off we go.
Yes, all your short legs and get some rest before we go. Very well. In the morning.
All right.
I'll assume you kit up with a few days worth of rations and water. Now, some of you have mounts. Are you going to take the mounts? Or are you going to leave them behind?
It's on the edge of the woodland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can take the mounts.
If we're going to be
He doesn't
hauling
have a-
stuff back, it wouldn't hurt to have that extra carrying weight.
Who's not got a mount?
I think we all do.
Okay, so all of you do. Okay, good enough.
I have a mule.
A very beautiful pony.
Okay, so Corian, you're going to kind of lead this based on the map. So we are going to use the Becoming Lost rules to see if you are able to follow this or not. Now, I'll give you bonuses because he did do very great representations of the path you did follow, but it's been 5-6 years, he said, since this happened.
Sure.
You're also an elf. So what we're going to do is you're going to roll me a d10.
All right.
Well, you know what? I should have put up dice for you guys. I forgot to do that. So just do the slash roll, and I'll make sure there's some dice up there next
Got a
time.
4.
Well, there's a dice roller in roll 20 off to the left.
Yeah.
Very true. Okay, now let me check something here. All right, so you set off, and you do find the first few landmarks quite easily. And you feel like, oh, okay, well, we're on our way here. The first bit is just got you going through rolling hills and grasslands, plenty of visibility. So you guys are able to keep a sharp lookout. I assume you're trying to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So Corian's the front. We don't really need a marching order. I just need to know who's blazing the trail there. And
I mean, I have a riding horse and they're on ponies and mules, so it would probably be me either way.
Yeah.
I get to the next rise, I wait till they catch up, I move on. So I try to keep a little advanced distance.
Okay. So you travel for several hours and you're finding landmark after landmark on his paintings, or excuse me, his drawings. But then it's been a while now. It's been a good hour since you have located the last of the landmarks, and you feel like you should have hit one already.
Do we know what the last landmark that's missing would be?
Well, the last one you went by was a rocky hill. It's probably in ages past a cairn that's been grown over now with grassland. You found that. But there should be a pillar of stones, 7-8 feet tall, that you should have hit by now within the last hour. But you're not finding it.
Could it have tumbled down at some point? It's been 5 years. Maybe a storm or something came through.
That's entirely possible. It doesn't look extremely sturdy on this drawing. So if it's been some years, water or vines or something could have certainly undone that. Can I? Has he just sketched the stand of stones, or does he have some landscape around?
Yeah, he does. And if you want to take some time to carefully look at it, go ahead and make me a D10 roll again. So you get a couple of chances to get back onto the correct path here.
6.
Okay. Yeah, you find it. Sure enough, after you backtrack a little bit, you were correct. The stones had weathered over time. One of the bottom stones had cracked and the rest of them had fallen. But once you find that, and you reorientate yourself, you're able to get back on the trail. So it takes a little longer to get there than you'd planned. It takes most of the day before you arrive, but you do arrive before nightfall. You've got maybe 2 hours with the good sunlight before the sun goes down over the horizon, but you make it, you find it. And what it is, he's got just the barest amount sketched out, and it's a cave that once was probably maybe a mine or a mine entrance. As you can see, the rotted timbers that now is overgrown with fungus. Yeah, and if you were passing by on the closest road, unless you knew this was here, you likely would not have found it. So it's overgrown. You have to do a little cutting, but the entrance is enough to get inside. You do worry about those fallen timbers, though. If this was a mine complex or was shored up by timbers, you're not sure how safe it's going to be in there. Just looking through, you're all demi-human, so I think you all can see in the dark, can't you?
Yeah.
You all have infravision?
Infravision, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks clear as far as you can see down the throat of this thing.
How far does it go in?
Well, to the limit of your vision, you can see down. You can see like there's a branching tunnel at the very end. And actually, if you give me just a second, I'll move you over to a map.
I was going to use some DCC RPG graph paper.
Ooh, so fancy.
I know. They sent this, and I was like, I love it.
Nice.
Are we on that? It's all.
Yeah, give me
black for
just a second.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, you see a little bit there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me move your characters over.
Oh, yeah. I see it now.
So with this being a few hours till night, do we just want to spend the time setting up camp and heading in the morning, or head on in now?
Well, I feel like the denizens of such a cave, if that's what it is, would probably be more active at night,
Yeah.
even though they don't really have a diurnal schedule underground.
There's a bunch of frogs, he said, and insects and such, like bit his fingers. And
Then we should I think during the day would definitely be a better option. Frogs are most active, as you know, either at sunset or at sunrise.
Yeah.
I think during the heat of the day, it might drive them down a little further and keep them less in our way.
I'll agree to that.
Okay, sure.
So let's.
Whatever makes you stop talking.
This is why you bring me along, Sully.
I do agree with the elf here. Let's back off, so that way we're not,
Perhaps if we can find a rise nearby that we might camp on, so we can see anything coming towards us in the night as we keep watch.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So you're just beginning to get into forest land. So if you backtrack, maybe just 10 minutes or so, you can get more into grassland where you've got a complete field of vision, or you can find, beginnings of the tree line and camp out in the trees, whichever you're more comfortable in.
It's up to my short-legged friends. I could easily sleep in a tree.
At least if we sleep in the tree line, we don't have to carry wood as far for our fire.
A what?
What time of year is it, by the way?
It is like the final months of fall. So it's a little chilly at night, but not horribly so. I mean, you're simple. If you guys anybody purchase like things like bedrolls or
Yes.
blankets?
I did.
Okay.
I even got a tent.
Oh.
All right.
And I got a 10. I got a bedroll.
I have flint and steel, but
Flint and steel. Yeah.
I did not get a tent or bedroll because I just climb a tree and sleep on
Yeah.
the branch.
Oh, it's not so cold that, if you huddled in your cloak and made a small fire, you'd be fine. If you actually have a blanket or a bedroll, you'd definitely be fine even without a fire.
My thought with the fire is if you're saying giant bugs are flying out of this, They might be attracted to the light.
They come to fire.
Yeah, that's a
There
good idea.
you go.
Yeah. Well, let's just set up without a fire then tonight. We can move off into the grass a little bit to keep a better.
I mean, if you're going to cook dinner, then you can make a low heat and sure, but a rip roaring fire.
I have
That's
rations.
like trouble.
Might we set up some sort of watch or something where there's crazy frogs, there's stuff that might come out of the cave?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll take
Yes.
first watch.
I was thinking the same thing. You should take first watch.
Excellent. You can have the second watch, Sully.
No, I'm more of a third watch kind of person.
I feel like as soon as the sun starts to rise, you're going to fall asleep, and we're going to be in trouble.
Right. I think I'm still going to go with 3. 3's bigger than 2, so 3 it is.
Elf, do you even sleep?
I believe-
Yeah, the elf just has to take, I think it's just like an hour or 2 of meditation, and that's it.
Okay, so after an hour or 2 of,
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
want
yeah.
him.
you can just stay up all night and watch over us.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll take first watch, and then you've got the rest of the night.
Sounds like a perfect plan.
Nice.
I like this idea because you'll both be sleeping for hours.
Peace for everyone.
Yep.
Right.
I need my 8 hours.
I'm a long sleeper. I need it.
I'm going
All
to
right.
wake you up 20 minutes early so you can get ready to travel.
All right. So who is going to have the watch in the middle of the night then? Is that going to be our elf?
It's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
All right. Give me a D6 roll.
Sure.
I'm not looking right at the screen, so just let me know what you got.
It's a 2. Hooray.
Yeah. Okay. All right. A 2. Okay. Okay. Let's see how they do.
He said okay twice. That's not good.
I did not they. They was
Right,
really
the
the
opposite.
problem with that statement.
All right. So before we start this, tell me how you're setting up. So you decided that you didn't start a fire, right?
No fire.
Right.
All right. So you're just camping out on the ground then?
Yeah, I've got a tent I'll set up, and I would presume maybe it's large enough for 2.
Okay.
So I'll offer to share my tent with our gnomish friend.
Okay. And Quarian, when you are on guard duty, are you walking the perimeter? Or are you just finding a place and sitting down and just keeping an eye and ear out?
I climb a tree.
Okay.
nearby.
Climb a tree.
That gives me a good range of view from this silly tent that my friends are sleeping in. My friends, my compatriots, traveling companions are sleeping in.
Okay.
And also gives me a good ear into the woods because I'm probably going to hear something coming from the woods, but I'm
Good.
going to see something coming in the grasslands.
Okay. Do you have a dex bonus?
I do not.
Okay. All right. So what we just rolled for was surprise. You rolled a 2, meaning you are surprised. They rolled a 5. They are not.
But I'm an elf.
You are an elf, yes. So the way the surprise works is for if you roll a 1 or a 2, usually, sometimes you can roll a 3 and be surprised. That is the number of segments the other side gets to act before you can do anything. So a 2 is actually 2 segments of time.
Mhm.
Now, if you had a dex bonus, it would negate some of that. All right. So no dex bonus. So you are surprised. Now, however, you are in a tree as you're watching around. So unfortunately, your 2 companions that are laying on the ground, you don't see these 3 frogs quietly, not making any sound as they are attracted somehow to your presence here. So unfortunately, these 3 frogs, Viet and Sully, are violently, you're woken up as these tongues lash out and they grab you by your ankles, yanking you out of the tents.
Oh my gosh. It's time for
I
new
was gonna
characters
say-
already.
Not done yet. Gosh darn it, Quarian.
All right. Since you're in tents, I am going to make an attack roll, even though you can't They really avoid it, but you don't get your dex bonus. So let's see what we got here. There's 4 of them. All right, we'll start with Viet. What is your armor class?
5.
All right, well, you're definitely going to get hit, and that's without any dex bonus, right?
Correct.
Okay, and how about Sully? What is your armor class without any kind of dex or shield bonus?
Without any dex, I believe that is.
We'll say you slept in your armor. I mean, generally, it's not a good thing. If you have heavier armor, it may put you at penalties the next day. But you all have light armor.
I wasn't even
You all
thinking
have
about
light
that.
armor. Or actually, do you have light armor?
I have
Viet?
scale armor. I might need to be out of my
armor.
armor, which would mean my AC would be 10.
Okay, well, they definitely got you.
Yeah.
All right, Sully?
So I just want to make sure I calculated this right. So I have just basic leather. I have 16 dex. So I have an AC bonus -2. So I don't get that -2.
Right.
So then that would be an 8, I think.
An 8. Yes, that 12 will hit you. So you're both yanked out of your tents rather violently. So that's their first action. They get free. Second action is, well, they pulled you out of the tent, so they're going to gnaw on you a little bit now.
Oh my god.
You're awake at this point, so it's not an instant death.
Good.
I don't know. Maybe that would have been better. Now we have to be conscious for this.
All right, Viet just takes 1 point of damage as he barely is able to gnaw on you. Now you guys, 3 points to Sully though.
Ooh.
Sully, your lower legs are in this frog's mouth that just has a row of razor teeth. He just starts gnawing.
No. It's frog legs, not gnome legs. No.
It's their screaming that alerts
Yeah,
me.
it's their screaming that alerts you.
Why are you screaming? Oh, I thought you had night terrors, but no, you didn't.
All right, so now we're into initiative. So, well, Sully, you took the brunt of this. So why don't you roll a d6 for your side?
Come on, Sully.
3.
4. Okay, so the way this works is we trade numbers. They're going to go on segment 3. You're going to go on segment 4. So they're going first. Each round is broken into 10 segments, 10 6-second segments. And so the number that's rolled is given to the other party, right? So you go on segment 4, they go on segment 3. So starting on segment 3, they're going to go first. And well, the two of you that are still bound, they're just going to do damage to. You have not had a chance to do anything to get out of the way or otherwise. Viet, 3 points. Sully, 3 points. Are you guys still up or not?
I'm still up.
Still up.
Okay, very good.
Hey.
I'm at 50%.
So that's segment 3. Actually, what we should let's back up just a little bit. So, of course, they're not casting. They're just going to be little engines of eating destruction and try and attack you guys. That's their actions. What are you guys going to do? If you're going to cast a spell, you have to declare spells. If you're just you have to roughly say that you're attacking. You don't have to be very specific about it. So what are your guys' actions for the round?
I would presume my Warhammer's in the tent.
Yes.
So I guess my action, what I would like to do, my intended goal is to break free and get to my hammer.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sully?
Same thing, but for, my weapons inside.
If you have smaller weapons, you probably still had them on you. Like
yeah,
a dagger, you'd still have a dagger on you.
I have a dagger and a short sword, so I could have the dagger on me. Yeah. Okay, so, I feel like I'm going to die, so I have 2 HP left. So, yeah, I'll just swing at the
It's your legs that are caught, so your arms are free. You can reach your dagger, and if that's what you want to cut at it, you certainly can.
Yeah.
All right, and Quarian, what is your declared actions?
I already had my longbow out. I didn't have an arrow knocked or anything, but I will.
Yeah, that's important.
Fire that.
So let's roll this back just a second, because I made a mistake here. We should have done this first, because what happens if you have a ranged weapon out? You so you don't have a dex bonus though, do you?
I do not.
Okay, if you did, and you so missile using folks, if you have a dex bonus, it actually makes you go earlier in the round, even if you lost initiative. If you've got the weapon out and notched, you go faster. If you actually had the weapon out and an arrow in it, you actually go before initiative starts.
Yeah, no arrow in it.
Yeah.
I was just up in the tree with it out.
Okay,
Like
so
I
that
would be on
doesn't
watch.
change anything then. So it doesn't change your position in the round. No dex bonus. Okay, so unfortunately, yes, the damage happens. That was segment 3. Segment 4. Sully, you're in a bad way, man. All you have to do is make me a damage roll. It can't avoid it because it's grappled with you and your hands are free.
Okay, so then that's just
nice.
a D4 then.
Yeah.
3.
Hey,
all
that's
right.
not bad. Okay. That is enough damage that essentially you sever the tongue. You don't kill it, but you are free. Okay. Viet,
Yeah.
you want to try and just kind of wrangle yourself free. You're more bound up. So what we're going to do here, what is your strength? Any bonus?
My strength is an 18. I've got
Oh, wow.
2 hits +1 and damage is +2.
Okay. Roll me a percentage roll and add 20%.
Okay. Here's the flat. We'll just add 20 to that. So I got a 31.
Okay. That's actually good. Okay, so you are able to just run, you pull with your strength, and you get yourself free.
Cool.
Okay. This grappling, I'm not going to go through everything that just happened, but grappling is intense. You're free.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Enough.
Yeah.
Yes, you are free. So, Quarian, shoot. Now, Sully and Viet actually are not in melee right now. They were able to pull themselves away. So
This
you're
is
not,
why I waited.
because when you shoot into melee, you cannot choose your target. It is random.
Oh, wow.
But they're not in melee currently. So, yeah, there's 3 of these frogs. 2 of them were chewing on your friends. One of them didn't have a target, was just kind of looking around. So you tell me.
Looking at Sully and Viet, I can see Sully's not looking very good, right?
Sully is limping. Viet looks like he's fine mostly.
All right, so the frog that's nearest to Sully will be my target. Now, the longbow says rate of fire 2.
Yes. So what happens is you will go on your segment. If the enemy has another segment, they go, and then you go again. They don't, so you can just go twice.
Excellent.
So you would go at the beginning of the round on your segment, and then you would go at the end of the round after they've gone. They've gone, so you can go twice.
Okay. I want to put an arrow in each frog then.
Sure.
And as an elf, I get a +1 to hit bonus.
Sure.
So...
And again, no dex bonus. Sorry. Yeah,
no
you get a
dex
bonus to missile fire.
And the worst elf in history. All right. 1d20 +1 is a 12.
Okay. What AC does that hit for you? If you look at your character sheet, there's a little pull down that tells you your THAC0.
The THAC0, it automatically generated, right?
Not on the screen when you rolled. Okay.
I didn't, because it has a THAC0 of 19, so a 12 hits a armor class of 7.
That's the same I've got, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, at first level is pretty much the same for everybody.
Okay.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Longbow.
Oh, and this is at medium range for you, so there was no modifier.
Man, I don't know why I didn't just click the roll button. I'll do that next time. 1d6. 4 damage.
Okay. That kills a frog. Goes down. How about your other shot?
Other shot.
And are you shooting at the 2 that are harassing your friends and just leaving out the third that wasn't around?
Yeah, just those 2 that were. This will be the one that's at Viet. And I rolled a total of a 20.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And it did 6 points of damage.
So there are no crit hits or misses in this because, again, if you have it, the monsters have it. But a crit success, a natural 20 always hits unless it needs magic to hit.
It was 19 plus 1, so 19.
Okay.
Well, the 20 would hit a -1 armor class.
Sure.
And
6 points of damage.
Medium damage, 6 points. Yep.
All right, you drop 2.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, the arrows
Sorry,
just
boys.
right into the brain pan. Okay, so you're on a roll, Crorian. Why don't you roll a d6 for your side? We're at the top of the round again.
Oh.
Initiative is rolled every round.
Okay.
You're going to get a 2.
Okay, so you go on segment 3, they go on segment 2. What are your actions? What do you guys want to do? The frogs are, well, here, I'll roll morale for them. I mean, you killed 2 of them.
How many more are left? Just one?
One,
Gonna eat well tonight. Tomorrow.
he's staying. He's mad.
Oh,
Man, yeah, he is. Spitting mad frog. I'm gonna put an arrow in him.
I am
Okay.
running away from him.
Okay,
can I've got my hammer. I can move in and attack with it.
sure can. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, there are fighting withdrawals and such, but since they did not get a chance to close with you, you're not in melee, so you can just full out run without a problem. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
All right, so they do go first. That one's dead. And that one's
Would
dead.
I shoot first? Or do I go after them and then at the end of our turn?
Yeah, since you don't have a dex bonus, you fire on your segment and they go first. They go
Okay.
at segment 3, you go at segment 4.
Don't we go on segment 3 and they go on segment 4?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You guys go first. I'm sorry. Yeah, segment 3, you shoot first.
Shoot that third one.
Yep. Bow has got a faster weapon speed than a hammer. Yeah.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
There you go.
Nice.
But it only did 2 points of damage.
Yeah, 2 points of damage. So like arrow
Pinned a
sticks
leg
out
to
of
the
the
ground.
eye, which seems to just make it matter. Viet, you're up then.
Yeah, I move in and I swing with my hammer.
So luckily, since his weapon is faster than yours, you weren't engaged.
That
Otherwise,
is 100% what I was hoping for. All right.
That's why I don't have a dex bonus.
There you go.
Man, you were really thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing all the math.
Oh, whoa. That was a lot of stuff.
okay, so what did you hit?
I hit AC
5.
5. I do 8 damage.
Yeah, AC 5 will hell. Yeah, you brain it.
Nice.
It's frog legs for breakfast, boys.
All right.
Mhm.
Corian, so what gets you about this whole encounter, though, is that these things didn't make any noise. They were completely silent, which is not typical for frogs. I mean,
Yeah.
these things are not only are they giant size. I mean, they're about the size of Sully. They were able to swallow Sully and Viet whole, and they had a chance to do it.
Look, Sully, you don't have to shave your legs anymore. They're pink. They just stripped it all off right there.
Going to glare at you.
Right. Who
Hey.
was it that was on watch again?
It was
I-
the elf. Some good you did, elf.
Get the fucking arrogance out of your eyes and maybe do your job.
Apparently, these frogs are absolutely silent because I was standing up in the tree watching and listening and everything, and they still made it to your tent, which I might add is why you don't sleep in a tent. You sleep up in a tree. Frogs can't climb trees. Well, most frogs can't climb trees.
Frogs can leap, and most frogs don't move silently, so maybe we stop with the presumptions.
Tell you what, you go find the next set of frogs, and we'll see who hears who first.
Yeah. How about let me see if I can do something for you, Sully.
Please.
I want to
Whoever you need me to pray to.
we'll say a little prayer to Meriden, and then I'll do some healing
Miriam?
on you.
Kill this heathen.
Marianne.
He gets so if I
Mary?
read this correctly, seeing as I'm not doing it as inflict, I don't have to roll a 2 hit, so you gain 8 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I feel so much better. Thank you so much.
Though he be unbearded, let thy hollow might heal this heathen.
So question on spellcasting for a cleric. Do I have to prepare a set number of spells for my known spells?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Because I know it's
yeah. No, clerics get to choose from the list each day. So,
Okay.
like, since you slept and this was near the end of the second shift, you would have gotten your 8 hours. So, if you can pray for your spells and redo your spells
okay, and I can just pick from any of the cleric lists.
from
then.
anything that you can cast from first level.
Okay, very cool. Cool. I have 1 cure and 1 command left.
And worrying to be a better watch. And just saying.
Uh,
Don't do me like that.
Can I cure wounds on myself? I think
Yes.
I can, right?
Yes, you can.
I'm
Yes,
going to
you
go
can.
ahead and spend it because I'm at 50%. So,
And you'll be able to
another
pray
8.
to get them back for morning. So
Okay,
be good.
cool. All right. Well, at least we're all at max hit points. I'm going to go back and get some sleep. Elf, you're on breakfast duty.
We're having frog legs.
I'm good with that.
They're a delicacy in some cuisines.
I've got a skillet and a pot if you need it.
Oh yeah, I'll take the
It's
skillet.
slowly going to be able to sleep now.
Probably not, to be honest. I've still got the goo on my legs. I don't like sleeping with goo on my legs.
But to be fair, it was nearly the end of the second shift, so you guys got sleep.
Good. I'll
All
do
right.
my morning
So come-
prayers and yeah.
Just come morning while you're praying, Quarian's got the legs frying up on a skittle. Actually, if you do actually do that, Quarian, roll me. Give me just a second here. Let me pull this up because there's treasure involved.
Ooh.
When you gut them, they swallow.
Well, of course,
things.
because they eat everything.
Yeah, they eat everything and
The-
they don't often pass it.
The great thing here is that in the kids D&D that I was teaching in the lab for the last 2 years, one of them also got swallowed, and then they tore it open and pulled him out, and he had literally lost an entire layer of skin from head to toe because he too was sleeping and was a wizard.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Roll me a d20.
Sure.
I found this great site that pre-rolled all the treasure types from A to Z, giving you 20 entries of the random
Oh nice.
treasure types.
And
So what'd you roll?
8.
An 8? Okay. Well, one of them was loaded down with a bunch of copper, but the other two had some silver and a couple of electrum pieces in him. So does anybody want to be the party bookkeeper?
I'll do it. I already got like mapping and
Okay.
stuff started, so
I'm good with that.
So one of them was loaded down with like 100 copper pieces. It was
Wow.
just stuck in his gut.
that must have been the third
didn't
one.
make any
'cause he was
noise.
really slow. He was really slow.
He's
He's watching
never
around.
able to.
His
Should have been
stomach acid
jingling.
was dissolving them into a copper ball.
He just was never able to pass them. Between the other two, they had 60 silver pieces
Wow.
and 10 electrum pieces that you find in their guts as you carve them up for food.
That's not bad.
I feel like I want to leave pieces of copper in the legs like buckshot. But I won't. I was like, they were jerks. I saved their lives with those. Forget it. Fine. 100 copper, 60 silver, 10 electrum. Check.
Since you are a ranger, you didn't really mention this to your friends, but you are relieved to find out once you started carving that they do not have poison or venom glands.
Yeah, no, I absolutely don't tell them that.
You know, Chuck had that thought, but the dwarf would have just seen some tasty meat.
I'm reserving the poison.
It's like
all good.
sea urchin.
Tasty
not
fish, poison.
Quite right. Yeah.
All right. So by the time the rest of you guys are Viet's done with his morning abulations and his prayers, and you can re-up your spells there. Sully, maybe you find a little bit of a small pond from filled with morning dew to wipe the slime off yourself. You guys have a good hearty breakfast of frog
Ooh,
meat.
that's where the fox is. Never mind.
All right, so bright and early the next morning. Your mules and your horses didn't get eaten by frogs at night
Thank
either. I rolled for that. So again, you're at the entrance of here, overgrown, but you kind of pulled it back, hacked it out a little bit, and you see. I'm going to reveal out to where you can see. All right, so that's about as far as your vision goes. So you see some branching tunnels. You do see the woodwork, the beams. So it does look like this is some kind of either reinforced or man-made cavern here. Looks almost like a mine shaft.
What kind of wood are those?
It's native. The same trees that are out right here in this forest.
Oh, I got my map back.
Although they're very old. Actually, Viet can probably tell you that some of this wood is old enough that it's petrified. It's the wood's been replaced with stone over time. So this is a very old mine.
So the V is where we're entering in?
Yeah. Yep, that's the entrance.
Okay.
Well, that does make me feel a little bit better knowing that it's not just old rotting wood holding the ceiling above us.
Yeah, it looks like the front timbers were just exposed to the most moisture and elements, so they rotted instead of vitrified like the rest of it did.
Okay. Well, in deeper, at least it looks structurally sound.
Okay. Yeah.
Thief?
Right. So I'll slowly begin.
Just call him a thief just like that, huh? Yeah, wow.
We've been traveling together for a while. We know.
You get away with that today because you touched me leg and you made me feel better. Tomorrow might be a different day.
Well,
It's professional locksmith. How many times does he have to tell you?
I am a jewel
He's a
crafter.
prestidigitator.
I craft
His fingers look
jewels.
like this, and then they have somebody else's stuff.
Yeah. So I'll begin sneaking my way inside. I do. Excuse me. I do as we go in. One of the things I actually am decently good at is I can detect unsafe walls, ceilings, and floors. And so as we start moving past the entranceway, I just do want to verify like
Sure. What is your chance if you've got a button?
70%. It's one of my like just gnomish things. So,
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a roll.
Never mind. 94.
Yeah, what's throwing you off is you're not used to seeing wood that's turned to stone because it's been here for so long. So you just don't know what to make of that. But you're on the plus side, you're not seeing fallen rock. You're not seeing a lot of rubble in the passage.
Okay.
And once you get past the first 10 feet, it's actually very dry in here instead of moist.
do you have a stick to test the ground in front of you with?
Oh, no, I don't.
I said I'd buy you a 10-foot pole.
If you want to borrow mine.
Okay, so I'll take your pole. Please hand me your pole.
I'll gently reach my pole out to him so he can grasp it.
What a 70s thing to say. What a 70s.
And I will begin slowly moving forward, tapping in front of me just to make sure.
Since you guys are mostly wee folk, the passage is wide enough that two of you can go side by side. So kind of what's your marching order here?
I will be out in front because I will be needing to try to detect traps. And
Okay.
such.
And how far in front are you going?
Not very. They will need to see me at all times, like maybe 10 feet.
What? I can see
Think-
60 feet. You can.
If
keep
you're-
going.
No,
If you
Hold on,
want,
line.
well,
I've
frog
got
this
some-
morning.
I'll
10
tie
feet.
I'll tie some twine to you, and I'll hold on to it. If the ball of twine runs out, then you're further than, I don't know, like 100 feet.
I was going to offer I have rope. We can tie rope to you in case it's...
Or actual rope. Sure.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
If
Look,
you must.
I'm
Right,
not
so
gonna
the-
lay that far away from you. Just
So
saying.
We don't need to go that far. It's just in case the floor gives way or something like
Sure,
that.
of
You know.
course. I'm glad you're thinking with your
He's
brain.
the lightest of us. He shouldn't fall too fast.
Or too far.
We'll grab him before he falls in, like cartoons.
So
Yeah.
the next question is, even though you guys all have infravision does have its limits. It's not infrared.
Right.
You see in shades of gray and you cannot see colors or make out a lot of detail. So a lot of intelligent creatures will still make light because of that. Do you wish to or do you not wish to?
Feel insulted there for a second.
Not
Intelligent
initially.
creatures.
Not.
What I meant is like even orcs will usually use lights because
That's even worse, Bert.
even an orc would be smart enough to. No.
Yeah. I
There's pros and
actually,
cons. I mean, the light will
Picked him as
certainly.
DM.
I actually didn't buy any light sources.
All right.
I have a lantern and oil, but I don't want to use it yet.
Sure.
just because if I'm out in front, I feel like that's goes
I have these
against me
sticks I
hiding in
picked up in the
shadows.
woods, and we can tear some tent apart and turn it
No, you leave my
some
tent out
oil.
of this.
Just the flaps.
No.
So
The
Sully is
inside.
ahead, 10 feet or so.
10 feet or so at first.
Okay.
And then got the rope wrapped around, and I am detecting, just looking for anything, like tapping in front of me, looking for anything that might look out of sorts.
Okay. So what you come across after a bit of travel, so each one of these squares this is not to scale. So each one of these squares is like 20 feet.
Okay.
Okay. And if I can get this to reveal, there it goes. What you come into is a series of small grottos filled with water. While there is not a strong breeze, they do ripple somewhat. And as you get up, and again, no light source, so all you can do is tell that it's water. You really can't see into the depths. So there's these 4 little pools of water, and then this continues on into the distance. This area is shored up, so there are timbers across the walls here, keeping like the vaulted roof kind of intact. And again, the woods were mighty timbers at one point. Now they're stone. They've been here so long.
I will waddle back to the group and I will say, 4 pearls. Frogs come from water. Do I think there might be frogs up front?
We shall let's take your rope and we'll tie it between, at knee height between 2 do I have a drawing tool? Yeah. 2 timbers right in that area. And then we'll just toss some stones into the puddles
I was thinking
from the other side of the rope.
we just douse the pools in oil and light them on fire.
How much oil do you have?
I've got a flask.
I think I have a decent amount of oil, but I would hate to waste resources if it's not necessary.
Like, we're not certain there's any thing in there.
Yeah.
We don't know how deep this place goes.
And if we had a 10-foot pole, you could just jab it in there.
We do have a 10-foot pole. He's got my 10-foot pole.
I've got all right.
But I don't know about you, but I was in one of those frogs last night. And I would like to not.
I was not.
I would like to not be in a frog again. So if we set up a rope there as a small barrier, stand on the other side of the rope. If frogs come out, at least they'll have to slow down long enough to think about the barrier, and we can just bash them in the heads.
Do you have any ranged weaponry?
I don't.
Do you want to maybe you throw the rock in and then Quarry and I stay back ready?
Yes.
I'm going to fix a little stone in me sling.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll do that. We'll tie a rope off between 2 of the pillars, or 2 of the supports.
That's at least 10 feet right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's 20 feet. Each square is about 20 feet. So good amount of string or rope. Yeah, sounds like a plan. So 2 of you guys are preparing ranged weapons, and then Viet's going to toss a rock in.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to aim for one of the pools?
Yeah, I'm aiming for pools.
So plunk. You wait. Don't hear any motion. Don't hear any movement. Toss another one. Plunk. Nothing.
Okay. Do I have enough distance on throwing these rocks? I can maybe toss some rocks in some of the assorted pools.
With your strength, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just a rock in each pool.
Sure.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, you toss a few, and at first you're being wary. You're listening. After nothing, you just start chucking them in there. Okay. Nothing. You're making a lot of noise. You're throwing a lot of rocks. There's no response.
I think we're safe.
Right. Famous last words.
Does the water look like water?
Well, you don't know. You haven't gone up in there yet.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was rippling.
Well, now we can go up and maybe look more closely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go to the first
Well,
one. Get
take
a 10-foot pole.
Do we want to leave the rope up so we have a place to retreat to, or should we take it down?
Watch us trip over it.
Yeah, that's kind of my fear. We're kind of short. I got heavy armor on.
I'll go underneath. I'll
Hop
limbo.
over it.
Oh,
Double
can't get
Dutch. Double Dutch.
Nice.
I'm fine leaving it there. We're smart enough to, I think, hop over it because we know it's there. So.
it. Yeah. All right.
Sure. If you want to pull the depths of the pools, you don't touch bottom. These are deep.
That's
Oh.
a problem, but nothing we can do about it now.
I'm no aquatic elf, so I'm not going for a swim. That's for sure.
All of them, and we go through all of them. All of them go deep and deep.
Yeah,
Like-
more than 10 feet. You don't touch bottom in any of them.
Just stick your arm in there. It'll be okay.
I was gonna take I don't know, try to scoop some up. Just make sure it is water and smell it, sniff it. Is it salt water? Is it fresh water?
It's fresh water, actually.
Okay.
It's actually very clear. So, it tastes fresh.
Okay.
Well, we can go swimming, or we can go north, or we can go home.
I'm not going for a swim. It'll
I think-
take
I think
days
north.
for this beard to dry. So I'll get my rope and tie it back around you, and let's go north.
Right, here I go again.
And
All right, you're
I
keeping the same marching order.
Yeah.
All right, so
will-
let
For
me
now,
see.
I'm staying on ice side of them.
All right, let me explain what it is you're seeing here. So the cavern kind of ends about right here, and there's a stone door. The thing is over a foot thick, and it looks like someone took time to shatter it, to break the door. And beyond it, you can see this is actually a finished off area. It's got a stone floor. Viet, it looks like dwarven work to you.
Wow, this is not unexpected, but a surprise.
So you have a shattered door right there, and then you see that's the extent of what you can see into these halls.
And it was shattered going into it, or
Yes. No,
Okay.
it's very obvious. Yeah, it was shattered from your side.
Okay.
Did Mitch say anything about shattering a door? Because I know he said he came in and there was a chest and
He didn't say anything
okay.
about it.
Okay. Minor detail.
mhm.
Minor. Gonna put that on the map. Minor detail.
All right.
Is that minor with an O or an E?
I'll listen. I'll listen for anything. If there's anything, can I
Roll
can I
me a
hear anything?
d6.
Yeah.
Actually, all of you can. Just go ahead and roll me d6s.
4, 3.
Okay. It's silent. You don't feel a breeze, but the air doesn't smell foul either.
Silent, but as we learned from last night, frogs apparently are silent. So
Yeah.
True story.
either there's nothing in there, or all of the frogs are in there.
Well, let's be prepared to run.
Okay.
So I will. I will try to I'll climb over through the door and I'll try to sneak into the left here, where there's a little alcove.
Sure. And you notice kind of right away, this is a burial chamber. These are stone slabs that have corpses on them. The corpses are, most of them are dust, but you still see parts of bone still. And what you're seeing is they're probably demi-human. They're short anyway. What bits of skull that you see make you think they're not, they're probably dwarven, given what Viet was saying, but not really sure about it. And right here is where you think that your miller stopped, because you see a wooden chest that's just kind of all shattered up. The chest was mostly, the wood was again vitrified. It's very stone like, and they just smashed it. And this is probably as far as they got, and then fled. It's empty now, but you can see some scraps of leather that were probably bags at one point in time.
Okay. I'll move over to the other side, to the eastern side, and try to kind of sneak around that northern corner.
All right, so you're trying to sneak. You have a move silently skill,
Yes,
I believe.
I do. Where'd it go? Yeah, I have. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
60. I rolled a 60%. So.
Okay. Out of what? What is
Out
your
of 20?
Oof. Yeah. Okay. So you think you're being silent? You always think
I'm
you're
a level
being
one
silent.
thief. There,
Yeah.
no bonuses or minuses to that. It was just pretty low.
All right. Roll a d6.
Okay.
Did the
One.
gnomes get any racial bonuses for?
Yes, but it's for, what was it for? I get penalties to climb walls.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get bonuses to like open locks and such.
Okay.
Right here in this corner. Again, these are all alcoves with bodies, but you see movement in these two alcoves. Okay. You both rolled surprise. So what I'm going to say is, since there's no light sources and you were trying to be quiet, they don't detect you. So you just freeze for a moment. And so you don't know what they are, but there's some movement in the alcoves.
Okay. So is it more I hear it or do I see it?
Oh no, you see it. You see the motion.
Okay. All right. Is it do I have like a number that I can like signal back to them with my figure?
Since you were surprised, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
You caught motion and you just kind of froze, and they just slowly backed away.
All right. I will slowly bring out like this, like my sword, my short sword, so that hopefully that people like that them behind me kind of would recognize of the short sword being out, like that means something, and then I will kind of make some sort of hand gesture that there's something ahead.
Okay.
I will knock an arrow.
I'll ready my hammer and shield.
Okay. So how do you want to handle that?
Yeah, we're not in a combat round yet. So they haven't detected you, and you haven't made enough noise for them to roll another check. So it's up to you how you guys want to handle this.
We could light an arrow and I can fire it in there. Take up positions, hidden positions, like, I don't know, like down here.
Okay.
And say here, and then I'll fire an arrow into. That was a terrible straight line. Gonna curve it like I'm disc golfing over here.
Okay.
Right through the wall, and then like that was where you saw it, right, somewhere over there.
Right.
So
I like the idea of like hiding in the alcove in the dark and then letting them come to us. Because maybe
right.
Backstab and stuff.
Well, maybe they'll investigate the light of the arrow, and then we can jump them.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Okay. Yep, sounds good to me.
I'm fine with that. So you shoot the arrow, and it embeds in the stone over here. And what you see is there's two hunchbacked, gray-skinned creatures, and they look like they're like one of them's got a broken bone in one hand that's kind of gnawing on frantically. The other one looks like it's pawing through the corpses, trying to find another bone. And then the light, they make this hissing sound, and they back off into the darkness. They don't seem to like the light.
Well, even better, kind of.
So they move out of your line of sight.
Okay.
Cleric, undead, smite, via.
Are they undead?
They're sitting in the dark eating corpses.
I mean, let's just switch over the range weapons and peek around the corner and
Yeah.
projection of that. And then, like, if they're afraid of the light, they got to kind of come a little bit through the light. So
Yeah. I can stand along the most corner there, and once they get close to you, leap out, and
okay.
start swinging.
Tell you what, given that you are a cleric of Moradin, just roll me a d20 and try to get equal to or less than your intelligence. This is not strictly out of D&D, but it is something from BX D&D that since there are no skills in this.
My intelligence is a flat 10, so
Okay,
no.
you didn't make it? Okay,
No,
yeah,
I
you
got
have no
12.
idea if they're undead or not. You have not seen this type of creature before.
We could drive them off with more flaming arrows.
Can always just make noise, you know. You can always just say yoo-hoo, and we're still in the dark when they come around and investigate the yoo-hoo.
You could call out in one of the
No. I need to be
Sully.
I need to be quiet about this.
Mechanically speaking, if I attack from the shadows, I get double damage.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yelling out "yoo-hoo" isn't all that dangerous if I do it all the way from the door.
Well, the arrow's still burning, and again, they retreat out of the light of it. You hear some hissing.
So either we attack
still.
them at range while the flame keeps them at bay, or we wait for the flame to go out and then they come to us. So I think those are the two options.
I'm in favor of range.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're already retreating, I could try to fire another fire arrow into one of them, and then they wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Okay.
Switch over to the sling then, and
Okay. So I tell you what, Quarian, it is your plan. So why don't you roll a d6 for your side?
Sure.
Oops. Sorry.
Oh.
There we go.
1s6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. So they go first. You will start on segment 4. They'll start on segment 1. And before I got to remember to do this. Well, I kind of already know what Quarian's doing anyway. What is Sully and Viet doing?
I have a ranged weapon, so I would be ready to fire with the sling.
I was going to stand beside or on the other side of the little alcove here, just kind of waiting for them to move into range towards the other two.
So holding an action is a thing. You can, if you go before them, you can hold an action until they act. They, however, go before you guys do.
Yeah.
They're going on segment 1. So, you know what? They don't like the light, so they're holding an action until something else happens. So segment 4, what do you guys do?
Corey and I are firing into it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you step into, you can take a step into line of sight, and since you have, well, actually your improvision's ruined because of the flame, but it's clear enough that you can see the motion, so you can fire at the motion. So you guys can go ahead and fire.
Okay.
Since they held an action, they'll basically go at the same time, but missile fires faster. I'm looking for hitting an armor class of 5. So just let me know if either one of you hit.
5. No, I got my 11 would be an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So my 3 would be a 16. So no.
Okay. It's not that your weapons don't hit them. It's like their flesh seems to be rubbery. The bowl, the stone and the arrow make contact, but they kind of are deflected off just a little bit, and you see the flesh kind of ripple.
That's weird.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So they're going to charge forward then. And let's see. Viet, what is the weapon speed of your hammer?
Oh
Did you write it down?
I did not. Let me get that. So a heavy warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
Equipment right there. Warhammer heavy. I don't see a speed on the OS RIC.
It's okay. I got it. The heavy warhammer is slower,
Okay.
so they will be able to charge in and attack first. Why this is happening is since they held actions, this is basically happening on the
Right.
same segments.
Absolutely.
So here we go. The two people that were standing, actually, Viet, you said you were waiting for them, right? So you're probably the one they encounter first.
Yeah.
And Sully and Quarian were hanging back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's have you guys, Sully and Quarian, since we're not doing like a battle grid here, why don't you guys dice off to see who's closer? Okay.
Mhm.
High roll is not. Just, both of you roll a d20. High roll is not the closest one.
Ooh.
All right, I am the closest. Wait, no, high roll is not the closest.
High roll is
Right,
not.
I
Right,
am.
so then
I
it's-
am.
then-
That's
okay.
fine. That's
Yep.
fine.
So the other
I
one
got
closes
60
with
points.
Quarian. There we
Yep.
go.
That's all right.
All right, so set up some macros for this. So the first roll is going to be on Quarian. The next one is on Viet. So Quarian is 16 and 8. That's going to miss Viet for sure. What is Quarian's armor class?
I've got a 7.
60. Yeah, that's going to hit. Okay.
All right.
Oh, you're an elf, though.
I am an elf.
All right, so it claws and rakes you for 4 points. And you feel like a numbing sensation,
Mhm.
but you're fine.
Kind of like cringe away from like, ooh.
So Viet, you can go now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just swing hard and heavy right at this one in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 10. That's going to be a... Wait, which way does that go? Oh my gosh.
Up.
So that hits armor class 9.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a miss. Okay, so those of you that are firing, do you have multiple shots in around?
I do. I have the rate of fire of 2 on the longbow.
Right. Longbows have a minimum range, so you'll have to step back, but you didn't move this round, so you can.
Okay.
And you can get your second shot off.
All right. I will do that.
You just basically take a quick step back and fire.
13. Hits a 6.
And
1
they're
point.
5s. Yep. Same thing. I mean, it's a true shot, and it just seems to bounce off their skin a little bit, as if their skin were just like almost like Jello. These things are kind of dog-like, with no hair, grayish skin. Yeah. Okay. So, Viet, why don't you roll for your side?
Yeah.
D6.
Got a 3. Oh, they got a 1.
Yep.
All right.
So you guys go first. Segment 1. I did it again. What are you guys doing this round? Is anyone casting? That's the big thing, is if anyone is casting.
I'm not. I'm just going to
Yeah.
swing.
I'm gonna
Okay,
switch out
so-
and drop the sling and pull out a melee.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that in lieu of moving. I'm good with that.
I'm gonna back up and fire my first arrow into this one, because it won't be in melee at that point. if I'm-
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
the one
we can-
backing up.
Yep.
So that's my first action, and then probably hold the second bow attack since
Right.
it won't be in melee.
Yeah, they'll have to go first anyway, so you don't have to declare your second shot.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your first shot then. Sully, you can make yours as well. Are you guys concentrating fire? Or are you getting the ones that are like Sully? You don't have anyone on you, so you can choose.
Well, Sully,
well,
weren't you doing melee?
Actually,
I
if
was
you-
switching out because I know that firing into melee is dangerous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was gonna switch. I was just switching weapons.
So he's switching weapons. I'm walking backwards past him, and I fire. That hits a 5.
Yep. How much damage does it do?
1.
Okay. Well, the arrow sticks this time. It doesn't bounce, and it does seem to some kind of foul-smelling ichor pours out of the wound. Sully, you step forward and attack one, then, or are you just switching
Yeah.
out your? Okay.
If I can get an attack off, I will.
You can.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that Quarian is firing at is what.
Sure. You two just swap places. Then you're
Right.
getting into melee, and Quarian backed out of melee.
Okay. All right. So then.
Well, he wasn't in melee before, but
18.
Stumbling
hits.
back.
that hits. Yeah.
Okay.
How much damage?
These, I guess it's small, medium, or is it
Yep.
large? So it's
Small,
5.
medium. Okay. It goes down.
Okay.
Teamwork.
I'll
Makes
swing
a
at
dream work.
mine
There you
then.
Sure, go for it.
Where's on? Are you?
8. That's no.
Nope, it's gonna miss.
Yeah.
Okay, got the 1. It's an intelligent creature. Let me see if it runs since it's buddy fell. 60. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It is going to. It's not going to all out flee, but it is going to do a fighting withdrawal. So you don't. You're not going to get a bonus on attacking, but it does step out of melee with you, fending off your blows. That's its action. It's trying to get away.
It's running. Can I get
Yeah.
my second shot at it
Yes.
since it's not
Yep.
in
Yeah.
melee?
Yeah.
Oh, just a 10.
Did you miss?
I missed.
Okay. Well, this is short range. Is a 1 point difference going to make any difference to your shot?
No,
Nope,
because
okay.
that 10 hits a 9. It would only hit an 8.
Okay. Alrighty then. So new round. Sully, why don't you roll for your side?
right.
Again, I assume no one's casting. You're just fighting, right?
Yeah.
6.
Okay. That's not a good one. Well, actually, yeah, it is. So you guys go on segment 1 again. No one is in melee. The creature is routing.
I'll
So
fire
whoever-
another arrow.
The missiles go first. So Quarian, go ahead, take a shot.
12. No, that's
Nope, it's gonna miss.
7.
Okay,
I would like to pursue and swing.
Damn.
sure, go ahead. Sully's faster, but he probably would let you go first.
Yes, I think that's totally fair.
15. That's going to hit AC 4.
Yeah. How much damage?
8.
Oh yeah, you crush it. You crush its little
There
skull.
we go.
Nice. Well done.
All right. So after the carnage, everything settles down. You listen. You don't seem to have drawn any more your way. It seems it was just these two.
Is there anything I can do to study these things to maybe
Yeah.
figure out what the hell they are?
Yep. Well, you can tell that. They're probably looking for food, as the one had found a piece of particular choice bone that it was gnawing on. They smell. They smell of death.
Would I get the feeling that they are undead or no?
No, that's blood coming out of them.
Okay.
It's greenish, but it's blood.
That's gross. All right. I'll pile the corpses kind of in the center off to the side a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No remnants of clothing or anything. They're nude. You could tell now that one was female, one was male.
You said they were like dog-like, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Mhm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Up on 2 legs, kind of dog-like snout, greasy gray skin.
It's like gnollish.
Gnolls are generally hairy, but I mean, they could have a
Yeah.
problem. I mean, they got
yeah,
mange.
mange, yeah.
Now they don't got no problems anymore.
So if we seem to be safe for now, I'd like to do a little prayer to all of the desecrated corpses. Maybe a little peace to them.
Mhm.
While Sully and I loot them.
That's what I'm doing. I'm occupying
what we're
myself so you all can loot.
All right.
All right.
Periodically, I'll lean over. and
dusty
say,
in here.
Praise be to Marion. Whatever her name is.
It's dusty in here. We should do a little cleaning up.
All right. This is a good time to end it here, but I'm going to just reveal some more of the area, and we're going to assume that you guys are going to spend the time looting.
Mm-hmm.
There is more passage out this way.
Okay.
Oops.
East. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, I just revealed that S up there. Just assume you didn't see it.
Can do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a giant letter on the ground. Right
Yes.
here.
What does
Why
that
is this
mean?
giant S painted on this wall for?
Danger. It's a danger symbol, or it's a symbol of hope. It's one of the two. I'm not sure which.
Who knows?
Okay. Well, let me give you the loot list, though, just so
Okay.
that we can
Yep.
have the bookkeeping done.
I've
You
got.
Christopher.
Yep.
All right.
All right, somebody roll me a d20.
Go ahead,
Good.
guys.
Go ahead, Chuck.
I got it. 6.
Okay, this is treasure type B6. Actually, D and 6. Okay, so you get. I'm going to just tell you the values, but assume like with jewels and stuff like that, you're going to have to get it appraised. I'm just for bookkeeping purposes. I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay.
Jeez.
So two gems, one worth 14 gold, one worth 500 gold.
Wow.
And about 2,000 gold pieces worth of various coins: silver, copper, electrum, platinum. And that's between all of the, you're taking your time, I assume, going through everything. And you have a chance for roll a D100.
Come on, Chucky.
I got you. 11.
11. There is a wooden cylinder that the ends have been waxed off, being cleric. You are familiar with this sort of thing. There's likely a scroll of some sort in there.
Oh. Very nice.
For bookkeeping purposes, again, your characters wouldn't know yet, but I just find this to be easier. Just write down it's a scroll of protection versus demons. You'll figure that out once you get it appraised somewhere.
Okay.
Yep. So you found one interesting item and a bunch of gold.
I'll suggest we've gone two interesting items. The one gym and the other gym. Who wants a piece of paper from a grave?
One of those gems is very interesting. The other one,
It's
This one has more character.
I believe.
You take this one.
I'll
It's
just
got
take
this.
these.
It's got this little line through the middle of it. It gives it character. You can take this one.
I pull out a little. Okay, so
Look, this one has no
clarity.
color at all. Look at that, no character. I'll just hang on to this one.
Oh, man. There you go.
Now, you said 2,000 gold in coin, but that's not specific enough for me.
It's basically a bunch of silver, some gold, a few copper. It's mostly weight value. It's just easier to tell you what the gold value
All
is.
right.
Yeah.
2,000 in GP. I'll just put various coins.
Yeah, various coin. They're old coins too, by the way. They're you're not very
there's a
intelligent there,
dime that's
Chuck.
worth 37 cents.
Very, very old stamping on them. So Viet, once you, it's not like they can hide it because they're probably taking you an hour to go through and loot everything. But you feel a little bit better
over in that corner.
when you see the minting on the coins, the stamps on the coins. Whatever the stonework seems to say, these bodies are not dwarves.
Oh,
those coins are nothing that your race has minted. You have no knowledge of what these coins are.
That's interesting. But money for the old folks. So,
Right, for the old folks. I'll be happy to deliver it for them. I have it in. I know all of them.
This will buy many, many wooden teeth.
Yes.
Sprinkle it around like the little tooth fairy I am.
One of them could have a really nice,
there we go.
huge gem.
Yank out his gold tooth and put
Sling-
a wee
sling
copper
his-
coin underneath his pillow
Yes.
while he sleeps.
Just think of how many Werther's
A
originals
lead
they're going to be able
bullet.
to buy with all
Stick a
this.
lead bullet up there.
Oh man.
Now this is going to get into the interesting part of what looting tombs and bringing back unimaginable wealth does to an economy.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna ruin them,
Yeah.
and then move on casually, like you do in D&D of all versions.
Yeah.
Inject a ton of cash into the economy, and then just blow out of town.
Just
Yeah,
Inflation
like-
just runs rampant.
No, it's
and
when
then
you
we're
come
gone.
back alive, just suddenly all the price boards have been swapped out, and that 2 copper bowl of soup is now 10 silver kind of bowl of
Yeah.
soup.
gold filigree on literally everything.
That's it.
Your
And there's
rooms
a
are
banana stand. There's always money in the banana stand.
Your rooms are suddenly 1 electrum a night now.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
inflation, and the day you were gone.
We only take actual electrum, not coin equivalency.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the villagers are really the ones that were. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and end it there. Again, we'll revisit this whenever the chance comes up. Maybe we'll be able to run it on different nights for other people to join too. But yeah, I had fun tonight. Hope you
I
guys
got
did.
notes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
look at that.
enjoyed this.
All kinds of notes.
good.
Chuck, lead us out. Anything you
Oh
want
my
to say?
gosh. Defenders of Kobold, you know where to find us. Let's see. Wednesday, Mutant Crawl Classics. Friday, we'll be back running some Zweihander on the Zweihander Twitch. And Saturday, we'll be back on Goodman Games. So that's my front. I'll be some other places, but I'll let Jeff talk about some of that.
Go for it, Jeff.
All right, yeah. Twitch.tv/thelollygaggers. That's where you can find a lot of our content. Tomorrow night, we are premiering on the twitch.tv/Free League Publishing Twitch channel. And we are moving. So this was Chuck and Bert were in this game. Moving our Vesson game over there. So Free League just started up their new channel, and we're one of the guest games on it. So Monday nights, 9 Central. So come check the three of us out. And then Thursdays, you can always catch me and a few folks playing Zweihander on the Zweihander channel. So twitch.tv/ZweihanderRPG.
Very good. Christopher.
I am Christopher Rick from Two Old Guys Games. We have several adventures, including Sinking the Stercorarius, Ziggurat of the Mega Maiden, and Rules of Engagement, which are quick naval combat rules for DCC, all up on Drive-Thru RPG. This coming weekend, I am running a 2-day introduction to DCC at TTRPG Pickup Con 4 online. It's going to be Portal on Saturday, and then Ziggurat on Sunday. And of course, on Saturday night, we have our Hexcrawl stream over on the Goodman Games channel.
Very good. And again, I'm Bert, Jim, and primary host for Of Steam, Steel, and Murder. Find me at BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. 10 years worth of backlog games, much like this, much different than this as well. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Yep.